Okay, I'm out of flock blocks. Whatever you got, flock blocks. So I'm gonna mix some more. So I went out in the chicken run and took some of the treats out of there, which got, you know, a little bit of mealworms, corn. I've got that, bought that bird feed that's got the peanuts and sunflower seeds and one of those little tiny seeds there are. Cat food, and I get the cat food that's, you know, the little tiny stuff. So I usually get it like for kittens. That's just an extra percentage of protein. And then I've got a mixture of some other premium chicken layer feed. My chickens actually don't like it very much. They pick at only at certain parts, so I'm trying to use it a little bit of it at a time. Inside that, and this is that, I'm not sure what all the stuff is, but they'll pick at that and eat the seeds, but they don't like the pellets. I mean, I just put a little bit in there. But just whatever I've got as their treats, I just mix together. And I kind of guess at it, but I mean, I probably have just a 4 or 5 cups worth in here. And then I'm also going to try this stuff here today. Poultry probiotics. And I'm just going to put one of those in there. I do it different every time. It's just whatever I've got. And then I've got some garlic powder. Probably a teaspoon or less, whatever. Crushed red pepper. You know, I just take a little bit of everything in here. Come on out. Doesn't come out very good. Let's see, I've got some parsley. I have some chives. Sage. I'm just going right down the line. Marjoram. I don't put very much in of each, just depending. Sometimes if you only have one, you only have one. If you have two, two. Basil. Oregano. Cayenne pepper. Dill. Use this one. Get that all mixed around. 3 eggs. Well, depending on how much you're going to make. I save my shells, wash them out, and grind them up. Almost like a powder, but not quite, you know, and I usually put it in here, but I'm out, so I'm drying some now, but they're not dry yet in order to crush up to use in this. So make sure you wash your shells out first. Usually people mix their egg up in a bowl first, but I just and some molasses. Come on. I hate that stuff so sticky. And then I use coconut oil. Kind of depends. You gotta look at your stuff. I don't have a set measurement for this stuff. I just throw it together, and if it looks too wet, add some more chicken feed in there or something, or even regular chicken feed, crumbles or pellets or something. Just, it doesn't matter. I mean, I make mine different every time usually. You can put other stuff in here too, just kind of experiment. And that looks a little wet. I'm going to put a little more of their scratch in there that I make. And when you use the oil, you want to get, you know, like a hard oil, you know, so wet. You can't just use regular kitchen oil or something like that. It's because you have to be able to melt it because you want it to solidify back to the way it was to help hold all this together along with the molasses and the egg. And I've made this without eggs. And you know, once it cools off, I put them in the fridge and just take them out whenever I need to. Let me just dump the rest of that in there. Because it's still kind of... And I just make sure it gets mushed up real good. I got the oven set at 350. Which is, 350 is usually what I put everything on. Just makes it easier to hit the button and go. Okay, I want to make sure I get all my oil and molasses on everything. And I want it to kind of stick together. And usually, see how that sticks up there? But it's not sloppy. I think I've got, and I kind of mash it down to make sure everything gets coated. I mean, you can just Google what your herbs or spices that you can give your chickens. And then, let me see what I'm going to put this in. Okay, so today, I think I'm going to use muffin pan. Make them into a little box. Now, I did spray some stuff in here a little bit. You know, not a whole lot. But I figured this way I can just, when I take these out, I just throw a couple of them out there so that they all don't fight over one block. They can fight over several of them. And this time also, I did not use oats. I mean, so it's, like I said, I just do it different every time. And when I get them in here, I make sure I get everything pressed in really good. Try to get your edges. This actually takes me longer than making it. You want it pressed in there really good so that everything sticks together nicely. And then I've got some, I have some excess. And I'm out of parchment paper. I usually put parchment paper down. I'm just going to put just a little bit, just so it don't stick to the sides when I'm trying to get it out of there. I normally don't do that, just use parchment paper, but I'm going to put this excess in here. And then well, actually, let me scoot it up over here. I didn't quite have enough to fill this pan. I don't want it too thin. Just shove it up on one side there. Just want to make sure it's, yeah, you press it down to make sure it's going to stay. I mean, you're going to have loose crumbs, but you can just, you know, throw those out when you've got the, I'm just going to leave it like that. Good enough. Good enough. And now I'm going to put it in the oven for around 20 minutes at 350. Okay, I had them in there for like, I don't know, 22 minutes or something. And usually if you start your knife around, they just kind of pop out. Okay, so these are out of the oven now, and I let them set out to get cool a little bit. The one in the pan got kind of crumbly, so all I did is I put it in another bowl, melted just a little bit more coconut oil, poured it on there, and I pressed it down in here. So these are going to go in the fridge for, well, they're actually going to go in my fridge for overnight. They're not going to get one of these till tomorrow because I've already given them scratch today, so I don't want to overload it. So this is a week's worth for me. I'll throw a couple of these out there. If I'm going to give them scratch out in the chicken run, then I'll cut down on what I give them out there if I'm going to give them one of these. So these are going to go in the fridge. I would say keep them in there for a few hours anyways if you want to give it to them the same day, because you want that oil to solidify again and everything to kind of hold together really good before you put them out there. So I'm going to stick these on a cookie sheet and get these in the fridge. And I have them on my tray, so in the fridge they go, and they'll get, I might give them, one or two of these, throw out there in the yard this evening. It just depends, but I'm going to leave these set so that oil can solidify again and help hold everything together a lot better, because even at room temperature, if it's, right out of the oven just a short while, it's still not going to hold together real long. So if you throw one of these right now, it may crumble. So that's why I always put mine in the fridge for at least a few hours, so that lard or the oil gets hard again. They're always beating me. Why do you think you think I have something for you? Huh? Look here. Got you a flock block cupcake. I think I got some crumbs in my pocket too. Here. Good stuff, huh? Get you some, Frank. He always lets his girls eat first. Don't you? They leaving you out. There'll be crumbs over there. They don't care. They just love that molasses on there. You're watching out for the girls? Huh, Frank? Well, that'll give them something to do. I know. Yeah, my teenagers are doing good. Huh? You doing okay down there? Huh? Doing okay? Got pretty cold last night, didn't it? In the 20s. Yeah, I had to put their heat lamps on. Oh. I know. I still have their heat lamps on, basically. I mean, they're not out in the sun, and I don't want to pull that plastic up over there. Because then I got to put it all back down. But that side, I didn't make to roll up. I wasn't thinking I was going to do this kennel. Next year I'm going to have to do something different. Do that side just like I did the other side where I can roll it up, huh? You'll be going home soon. Yeah, you'll be going to a different home. I gave them some wet feed so they're good. I got to get in here and poop or scoop everything today. That's my next chore.